little ditty there. And I'd love to tell you, that it's this great artist. It's not. I made that. I made that little fucking ditty in a shitty little AI fucking thing. So everyone can be mad at me for that. Hey, listen, I'll say this about AI. AI. Do we need AI to do everything? Fuck no. I think AI has its uses, especially for a lazy ass podcaster like myself who doesn't have the drive to actually record my own music, and also the social anxiety of actually going on Fiverr or something and actually having to ask someone to do something. So I think no harm, no foul. I'm not trying to pass this off as real shit. I thought it was fucking hilarious though, because that was a little ditty where basically I put into, I'll tell you the program I use too, Suno. It's a great little thing actually. I never in a million years thought that there would be a thing where you just type in words and it makes a song for you. I think that's pretty fucking cool. And I wrote in there basically, give me Trent Reznor, which they didn't give me Trent Reznor, unfortunately. They really just gave me more metal of the AEW Continental Classic. Because I just thought it was a cool idea of like, this is fucking Dragon Ball Z or something. And it's like an entrance song about an entire... That's why I love New Japan. They do that. Every year the G1 has like a theme. How fucking cool is that? So that's the white trash edition of what I'm putting out there for the Continental Classic. All right, folks. So speaking of that, it's all about the Continental Classic right now. And let's pull it up. Let's do it. Every week we're going to do this where we look at allelitewrestling.com, because I'm not about that spin life, folks. All right, I'm not going to other fucking websites. I'm not going to Meltzer's website about an AEW thing. I'm not going to fucking Sean Ross Sapp's fucking website to see the fucking standings of the Continental Classic. No, goddammit, I'm going straight to the source. I'm going to AEW.com, and let me tell you, I don't know the last time someone's been to AEW, or well, AEW is actually All Elite Wrestling spelled out.com. It is looking quite, let's say, nostalgic. The layout, not that it's bad, but it's definitely not a modern website, in my opinion. However, it does have the Continental Classic standings, and that's all the fuck we care about, right? For the Gold League, Claudio Castagnoli with 6 points, 2-0. Darby Allin, Brody King, and Ricochet all in that sort of, you know what? No, here's what's interesting. Okay, this is how AEW's position it, and this is kind of weird to me. They have Claudio, obviously number one with a bullet, and we'll get to the Blue League. They have a real number one with a bullet, and he's actually part of this thumbnail. They have Darby, Brody, and Ricochet above Will Ospreay for whatever reason, even though Will Ospreay has yet to lose. He's just 1-0. So we're going to go ahead and change that, and I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say Will Ospreay second right now in the Gold League, and then everybody, Darby, Brody, and Ricochet behind. And, of course, he came in, unfortunately, in really duress because he wasn't even supposed to be in the tournament, coming in for Juice Robinson with the Goose Egg 0-3 Commander. But, man, what a great match he had with Ricochet as the main event of last Rampage. I loved Okada against Mark Briscoe. That was beautiful. So last week's Continental Classic action we'll get to in a second, but I do want to get into the standings straight up. And number one with a bullet, 9 points, 3-0, Kyle Fletcher. Nefarious means, but either way. And then, of course, tied second is Daniel Garcia and Okada. Each man has 1-1-1 as their record. And then Mark Briscoe, Shelton Benjamin are the next tier there with 3 points. And, of course, much like Commander, the Beast Mortos, just not able to catch a break yet. 0-2, yet to get any points on the board. However, great showings by Mortos. And I feel like, every time he comes out, he gets a big reaction. He gets a huge amount of, um, you know, of I'm trying to think of the word, I guess, support. I mean, the fans love Mortos. And I mean, what is there not to love? The man's amazing. He's a lawyer. You know what I mean? I mean, come on. Frank's a good guy. Commander, great guy as well. But not the law degree, unfortunately. So, as I said, I'll say this too about the Continental Classic. I've seen a lot of criticism about it, and that's just part of wrestling. I usually don't even really pay attention to it much unless it's something just overly egregious. And I feel like this was egregious. It is amazing to me that people are literally saying that this is confusing, that this is boring. Really? How about this? This is going to be a hot take. I'm going to start it off real hot because I got opinions this week, folks. It's been a bit of a tumultuous week for me personally. So, the veil has been taken down, so to speak, with my patience with people online. I'll say this. You know what? If the Continental Classic is too confusing for you, quit watching wrestling. Okay? I'll go there. Everyone will be like, oh, now come on. No, honestly. If you're going to complain about really good wrestling on a weekly basis, a point system that is literally the easiest to follow. I also want to say this. Oh, it must be nice to have never seen a G1 in your life because it's the same thing. So when you want to complain, guess what? This has been a thing now in the world for years. And even for AEW, this is the second one, people. You're confused now? Where were you last year? Like, I don't get it. That's like saying the Royal Rumble's confusing. Is it? How about this? How about instead of you going online and shitting in everyone's fucking meatloaf about your half-witted opinion, because here's the other thing that I think too. I don't even think the people saying that fully believe that. I think we have created a society. Oh God, I'm getting off the rails, right? I'm talking about society now, but bear with me. It does have something to do with wrestling, actually. We have allowed society to devolve, rather, into this state of people get to make these quote-unquote educated opinions without the education part. And we just are supposed to go, oh, yeah. I don't do that. That's the problem. I will just go, hey, cool. You just don't like this then. How about why can't people go out and just be honest about it, right? Because I feel like most people that are quote unquote in the wrestling media business, but really even more than just them, these fucking internet wrestling fans that literally when you go to their feed, all they ever do is bitch. All they ever do is bitch. To me, it's like, why are you doing this? It's not because here's the thing. It's not entertaining for the people reading your shit because all you're doing is being negative. I can't imagine reading that on a daily basis. I can't imagine it. That is why, and I'll segue into a good thing and a great community, and that is the Sickos Club. Man, it has been so much fucking fun hanging out with people that aren't even like-minded, by the way, because I think people get confused. They think things have to be an echo chamber. I don't agree with that. I think all things have to be is civil. That's all. All things have to be is welcoming. They don't have to be the same thing. And I'll give you a great example. Last night, Sickos Club, we had a little watch along with each of us picking a match that had participated. And when I tell you that this playlist that we procured last night and watched 2 hours of was some of the most eclectic wrestling I think I've ever seen. We went from Stunning Steve versus Ricky Steamboat, I think for the WCW World Championship in '94. I think that was when Ricky had the belt. To literally Kenta and now Michi Marufuchi. And then to Aja Kong and Miko Sagamura. And then Mike Awesome and fucking Masato Tanaka. Folks, it doesn't have to be the same. I think we're getting mixed up into that. I think that's never been the case. I think the issue is assholes and people that don't tolerate assholes. And people that don't tolerate assholes, for whatever reason, they get a bad rap. More so than the asshole anymore, sadly. And I'm cool with that, by the way. I'm more than cool with being the guy online that, those kind of people don't like. That's good for me because I find genuine people when I do that. And that's so much worth it. But, anywho, let's get to fun wrestling shit. Isn't that the point of this show? I thought it was. It probably isn't. Yeah, I don't know. I just I feel like it's a beautiful, beautiful time to be a wrestling fan. I mean, I have been going so far into different promotions that I never watch. I mean, the other night I discovered through Wrestle Universe that I have Deadlock Pro Wrestling matches on the Wrestle Universe platform. They have agreed to have an agreement, I guess, where they just fucking put their shit on, and I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, so I was deep into that. Calvin Tankman is a fucking literal tank of a man, and he's unbelievable. He's great. I love that his finisher is the Welcome to Asbury Park and the Rikishi thing. I don't know what he called it, where you fucking have the guy on your shoulder and you just drop him on his fucking head between your legs. That's pretty sweet. Also, Jake something and Speedball Bailey had the tag titles for a while. That was a Bizarro World Tag Team that was pretty cool too. So I've been watching a lot of shit. Also very fucking pumped for this upcoming New Year's Day Noah show. Not only Shinsuke Nakamura coming back to Japan, but more importantly, we get KENTA coming back to Noah. I can't remember the last time he went to Noah. In fact, I think the last time he went to Noah was to wrestle, I believe, Marufuji for something. Might have been like some charity or something. He is coming because KENOH from Noah, who, if you don't know who KENOH is, just imagine Murder Grandpa, but kicky. So he just fucking kicks the shit out of your chest till it bleeds instead of chops it. So unbelievable. Also, great head of hair, and I can't even describe the KENOH hair. And I could go through it here for those of you watching on YouTube and stuff, and show you a picture. It's better if you seek it out yourself. Trust me. Beautiful head of hair. That is going down, and let me tell you, KENTA versus KENOH. Holy shit. Like that is literally made for me. Like, hey, old guy. I know you love when guys just beat the shit out of each other. Here you go. Thanks. Thank you, wrestling gods. You're awesome. With that said, let's get into some wrestling, right? I was just talking about wrestling. I guess I mean American wrestling. Weekly wrestling, if you will. Let's just start with WWE, because it always is the shortest conversation. But you know what? This week, WWE made it on the thumbnail because there is one pertinent thing going on with WWE. I can't speak today. And that is the New Day and Xavier and Kofi literally shitting all over Big E. Literally telling him, yeah, you broke your neck, so what? Thought that was awesome. And man, when I tell you, when they came out the other night for Raw, they had go away fucking heat. Not like bad go away heat. They had super fucking heat. Couldn't go through their promos. And I know there's going to be detractors that are like, whatever. I think that's great, man. To think that these guys went from being an act, and I can tell you because I saw them very early in their little genesis as a thing. No one gave a shit about them early on. Nobody. Everyone thought it was like, oh God, here we go. A preachy fucking Nation of Domination. That's how it was presented at first. So everyone was very weird about it. And then they found their groove and they became the Goofs. And it fucking got so over. For those of you that might be new to the business, you know, those of you that don't remember like 2015, 2016, dude, they were over I mean, over. It was unbelievable. To the point that they were the hosts of WrestleMania in 2017. Like, holy shit. That's shit that legends get. And they got it. And they were active wrestlers. So for them to be able to parlay that into being heels and make it effective and not just cheap is a testament to how great Xavier and Kofi really are, because they are. They're very good wrestlers. They're smart guys. They've been in the business for a very long time. And I think, as much as I did go out and say, I really kind of did want it to be a full split. I did. I wanted Xavier to go out on his own, but I'm a big believer in Xavier Woods. I think he could be a great single star. Um, but I don't hate this either, because it gives Kofi, I think, a new lease on his career. I mean, I think it's not rude to say, Kofi's probably in his last 5-ish years in the business, probably. And I hope I'm wrong, but at the very least, I think he's in his last 5-ish years as like an active guy getting a push. I think that's not crazy. The guy's had some injuries, he fucking had a wild style as well. So I think this is a fun way to give him, a jolt. And like I said, it's fucking heat. And I can't think of a lot of heat in WWE, specifically on Raw, outside of Dominic Mysterio, a guy, again, that everyone hates to hear. Oh, God, Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, I know, he's getting pushed down your throat, but he is a very good young performer, and he will be something in this business. I'm telling you guys right now. Outside of that, it kind of is the same as it was last week when I talked about it. Really, outside of Rhea Ripley, now the New Day again, there's not really a lot moving the needle for me. Gunther feels very low as world champion, and it's not his fault. It's how they fucking portray him. I mean, he's just the guy with the belt. It's way more about Damian Priest and Finn again, which I didn't really want again. I thought we went there. And then this whole Rollins Punk shit again. It just feels like we're rehashing in WWE right now. I think, and I don't know. It seems bizarre to me. You're going to be on Netflix in a month's time. This is, been promoted as the biggest thing fucking ever. Okay? But it just feels like storyline wise, we're just doing the same thing. Like, what has changed? I mean, what is any different? It feels bizarre. And again, maybe things change, right? This weekend, Saturday night's main event, we got Kevin Owens against Cody for the title. We got Gunther, Damian, and Finn for the world title. I think we got Rhea and Liv for the women's world title, I believe. Either way, it'll be a fun show. I will watch it. I watch wrestling, right? Like, with that said, though, WWE definitely kind of feels very low right now. And I feel like if you were going to pick a time to be like, revolutionary, for lack of a better term, or just mixing up booking, it's not even revolutionary. Just fucking give a new guy a push. It would be now, because AEW's in the midst of the Continental Classic, so they're focused on that, and I think it would be a good time for WWE to mix things up. They're just not doing it. So that's the WWE front. Really kind of same. Definitely stick poke meme, like do something. Not really anything being done. So, yeah, that leads us to AEW. And I said earlier, I really enjoyed Dynamite last week. A great Dynamite. Shelton Benjamin, Kyle Fletcher was great. And I'll be remiss. I'll say this right up. I'm not the traditional, go through a card meticulously. There are people that do it way better than me. Sit down, shut up, mark out. Those people do it way better than me. The All Elite wrap-up guys, Tim and Tom, they absolutely do that better than me. So I'm not going to do that. What I will do, though, is, since I've kind of hit the sweet spot here and I do the early Wednesday it's like I'm like the preview guy, right? The Wednesday afternoon guy, and I like that, so I'm gonna stick with that. Uh, but just real quick, I mean, I think Jay White and Pac had maybe uh, a sleeper for TV match of the year for AEW. I thought it was that good. I thought Brody King Claudio, the main event, was that good. I love seeing Swerve kill Max Caster. My biggest problem was why in the fuck was the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal thing even fucking put on the card? I hate. It's like what I just said about WWE is how this Battle Royal was booked. How in the fuck are you gonna tell me who knows who's gonna win and go to Winners Coming to face each other when it's Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and the fucking ROH roster that never is on TV? That was literally what this Battle Royal was. Guys. And the finish sucked because, again, the guys that shouldn't be losing that always lose, Lance Archer and Brian Cage, were the last two fucking eliminated. And, oh my God, O'Reilly and Cole had no idea who was left. I mean, come the fuck on. Sometimes Tony, you lose me, bud. I'm sorry. That was kind of fucking weird. And then, like I said, we had a Continental Classic edition of Rampage. Ricochet Commander was great. Daniel Garcia and the Beast Mortos was incredible. And of course, Okada and Mark Briscoe. Amazing. And then Collision. We had a couple matches. I'm trying to find that. Sorry. Fucking look at that. I'm such a fucking idiot. Now you get to hear me scramble. This is, you know what? And this is the thing. I stammer. I fuck around. But you're going to get it. It's going to be part of the show. You want to know why? Because you should know. I'm a firm believer. You should know how dumb the people that you listen to are. You know? I mean, hey. That's what I believe. Oh yeah, Deadline was a thing too. Holy shit. That was interesting, to say the very least. Not bad. I don't want to say bad. Definitely bizarre though. Good for Julia winning that Deadline match though. She deserved it. I will say this about Collision. I loved the venue because they were at GalaxyCon, so it was in the Greater Columbus Convention Center, a smaller building. I think it was perfect for AEW, and a lot of people that I was watching the show with said the same thing. They were like, it sounds better, it looks better. So I hope Tony Khan, I know he's already said they're going to go smaller venues. I hope it's a regular thing, though, and not just sometimes we're in smaller venues. We got Darby and Commander on Collision. Amazing. The lucha hurt yourself shit that you expect. We got the cool tease of old Big Take, the international champion, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Please, God, give us that match. We had the qualifier for the International Women's Cup, Willow against Serena Deeb, and we all were happy that Willow won that one. And she did, but it was a really, really good match. Thunder Rosa in the back, making it clear. I'm going for my world title again. I love it. And then we got a little bit of some Death Riders action. We got Orange getting the shit whooped out of him again. It was great. This was good stuff. Orange really came across as, and I said this, he felt like 1997 Sting here. Just coming out by himself. He don't need no friends. Just fucking whipping up on people. I love that. Marina Shafir being sort of the difference, right? Getting in front of Orange, hitting him in the back of the head, this kind of shit. And they just straight up steal him. We see an abduction live on television, which I'm all about. And then this was great. It cuts right to FTR cutting their wooden Awful promo. I'm so sorry. FTR, horrible on the mic. Fucking horrible. And then mid sentence, they're like, what the fuck's going on over there? And it's the Death Riders bleach waterboarding Orange Cassidy. Fucking awesome. This is the shit I need in my life, folks. Unbelievable. FTR, of course, had to save the fucking day. It was great. But I don't want FTR anywhere near this angle. But of course, I'm not going to get what I want. Blue League match, the Blue League match of the fucking tournament. Probably even going forward. Kyle Fletcher and the Continental Champion Okada. And this was phenomenal in every point of phenomenal. And at the end, when Okada was like, all right, let's fucking go. We're doing this shit, right? We're going to fucking put him away. Fletcher with the fucking douche heel cheating tactics beat Okada. I mean, I would have never thought that they would go with that. I really did not. I figured it would be the other way around. I thought Okada would be just fucking cruising through this thing up until the end. And I think he will come back and surge. I think he will make the playoff. But you know what? Again, that's why these tournaments are beautiful, though, for things like this, because I am not a Kyle Fletcher hater. I think he has gotten phenomenal in the ring, and he is a joy to watch. So I'm all about that. I don't give a fuck. So far, he has been the gem of the tournament, and thank God it's somebody that we haven't seen on a large scale yet. Mortos murdered Aaron Solo. It was nice to see Mortos get a little like job match in between the Continental Classic. They also put him over. Nigel was like, let's fucking be real transparent about how sorry, I'm getting ridiculous notifications. I do this every week. Why don't I just fucking put you guys do not disturb? It's for the people. It's for the sickos in the world that want to hear me talk for whatever reason. No, Nigel put over Mortos huge, though, and was like, you know, hey, he's like the only guy in the Continental that's having side matches. Thought that was good. Mina Shirakawa, Emi Sakura, great fucking match. Mina literally got chopped bloodied here. That was great. But then she beat Emi with a sling blade from the top because she couldn't hit her with her usual finish. Great little wrinkle there. Thunder Rosa at ringside for this match, watching on. So we got a fun little, you know, women's world title carousel going here. And I think that's good for everybody. And that leads us to the main event of Collision. Daniel Garcia, TNT champ, against Mark Briscoe in the Blue League. This was phenomenal. This was fun. This was hard hitting. This was as good of a babyface match as you can get. And at the end of the day, Mark by God Briscoe got the big win, gets on the board, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful moment for everyone involved. And that, of course, leads us to, well, actually, before we get to Dynamite tonight, we had the All-In pre-sale event. And the most notable thing to come out of that was the appearance of one Bryan Danielson. He looked good. He did admit, though, the neck's still not great, trying to avoid surgery, so he's trying to rehab that. It's a slow process. However, he said he will be at All In Texas in July in some form. That's huge news because he really is sort of like the early Babe Ruth of AEW. He really is. He wasn't in very long, and he wasn't an original guy. But I think, you know, he's on that level, right? I mean, he's a guy that, to be fair, his style really influenced every single person that is in AEW in some way. Either his journey as a wrestler, being an independent wrestler for most of his career leading into WWE. That's what AEW is about, is being on the fringe and being different, and that's what Danielson was from day one. So it's really cool to see AEW giving him his flowers, even after he got his other flowers when he retired. I think it's a good thing. So that leads us to Winter is Coming tonight in Kansas City. I know the All Elite Wrap-Up boys will be there. I'm jealous. And they've got a great card to watch. And we're just going to start from the bottom up to the top because Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. The winner faces MJF for the ring at World's End. I think it'll be a great match. These two always have great chemistry. I loved their feud in Ring of Honor years ago. I just am not a fan of this angle. I feel like, fuck. It just feels like a shoehorn to get like good wrestlers to wrestle. And usually I'm cool with that. But these guys are better than this level. Like, I look at this and I'm like, it's 2024 going into 2025. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly. This isn't for a belt. This isn't for the world title. This isn't a big deal. Nah, it's just like a mid-card at best thing right now. That's not good for anyone involved. And then MJF is lowered being the guy that they want to wrestle. It's like, oh my God. Either way, like I said, I think this will be great. I expect shenanigans. I have no fucking idea who's going to win. Although it does feel like a collision course for Adam Cole and MJF to wrestle each other again. And whether we need that or not, I don't know. I would be okay with a Kyle O'Reilly MJF match. I just am not okay with any of this going on right now. I am very okay with the Continental Classic Gold League, and we've got Ricochet against Brody King. You know, I look at this and I'm like, I feel like Ricochet needs more adversity. So I think, and not only that, I think Brody King needs more legitimacy as a single star. So I think Brody King wins this one. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great clash of styles. Brody King's proven he has great matches with smaller opponents. This will be no different. And again, I want to see Ricochet losing a little bit and get that mean streak. Maybe, I keep saying it, maybe he gives that old MVP a call. You know, just a thought. He got the card. And then I said the Blue League match of Blue League matches that happened on Collision between Kyle Fletcher and Okada. I think this is the Gold League match of all the Gold League. And that is the leader of the Gold League, Claudio Castagnoli, against, in my opinion, number 2 right now in the Gold League, Will Ospreay. This will be nuts. I can't imagine anything following it, so I don't know if they put this in the main event, because looking at the next 2 matches, that's a hard argument too. It will be great, though. I have no idea who wins this match. I think Ospreay does, because I think, you know, everyone kind of assumes that this is leading to the Kyle Fletcher-Will Ospreay rematch in the final. And probably. I don't know, but I think definitely they want those 2 guys being very, very strong together in the same tournament. And I think that will continue. Will Ospreay will win that match. And I also think like Claudio's in a position where he really doesn't have to win, in my view. I feel like he, you know, he's in the top fucking heel group right now. He's a trios world champ. Claudio's one of those dudes that never needed a win. You know, I think for his credibility, he needs wins, absolutely, and they're doing that right. He's had fucking a lot of wins as of late. But, yeah, I just think Will Ospreay takes this in a great one. And another great one, the AEW Women's World Title, Mariah May finally getting one-on-one in the ring with Mina Shirakawa. This will be Stardom personified. I'm excited for Americans that don't know what Joshi in 2024 even is to see how good this shit can be. I love Mina. She is our queen. We all know that, obviously. But Mariah May, it feels like she just will not ever go down. She will do everything in her power to stay champion, including turning on her best friend and her mentor and everybody and her own literal fucking mother. So I got Mariah May finding a way to retain the title here, but Mina Shirakawa, I hope, stays around AEW for a while, if not permanently. If they could make that work with Stardom, I think that would be great for the women's division. She is a very good wrestler. And I already said I loved her match with Emi Sakura. I think she can do that with a lot of wrestlers on this roster. Like, I'm excited when I think about, like, Mina Shirakawa against Julia Hart. That kind of shit. I think that would be good for the division. But then that leads us to the last match on the card, probably the main event, to be honest. The Death Riders team of Jon Moxley, the world champion, and Pac against one of the weirdest tag teams of all time, Jay White and Orange fucking Cassidy. I think this will be great. I think this will be intense in a lot of ways, and I think I have no fucking clue who wins this match. Because I don't even think it's going to matter who wins this fucking match. I love this chaos right now at the top of the card. It reminds me a lot of what I loved about like 99, 2000 WWF, where there were like 12 top guys at one point, and they all just kind of kept rotating around, wrestling each other. And there wasn't necessarily like a lot of stories to it. There's a story in this though, but I just mean, sometimes we don't need a fucking story. I think that is overplayed in wrestling. Sometimes it really is as simple as, hey, here's the two most top people in the fucking company. Watch them perform against each other. I think that's what Jay White, Hangman, Orange, and Jon Moxley, this little slurry going on right now, that's what this is about. Like, hey, we're about to be on Max. The company will absolutely expand. It will be a different company next year. And that's a good thing, but let's prime it up and just give them everyone we have on the roster right now that's healthy, that we think can contribute, because I guess Ricky Starks doesn't add into that. But, that's besides the point, right? I love it. I love this. And of course, in the middle of these matches, I can't imagine there's not a Hurt Syndicate seg. Can't imagine there's not. I hope there's a Private Party seg, because they are, they really need to be on TV. They just won the World Tag Belts. They need a run. So I'm hoping for that kind of stuff. I wouldn't even be mad about a Jack Perry little deal. You know what I mean? I don't know. I get where people say that the Continental Classic can like stunt stories, but I think this year AEW is doing a very good job of extending the tournament. I think the issue last year was Tony came up with the idea and just went, all right, we're doing it, and it's going to end at the next pay-per-view. And there just didn't feel like enough time to make this stuff, develop. I feel like this time it does feel that way. I don't feel so much like, okay, we got to get through the Continental Classic. All right, and everything else is on pause. No, we're letting everything else marinate too. I just think, as always with AEW, it's such a large roster. It's hard to get everyone on the same, level. But I think, obviously your World Tag Team Champions need to be on that level, in my opinion. So I hope that Private Party are on the show tonight. Either way, we got another incredible night of wrestling ahead of us. That's all I got this week. Until next time, you know what? This time, go seek out some early 2000s Noah and watch it. And let me know what you think over on Threads at Troubles Wrestling Pod. Blue Sky as well. Troubles Weekly over there. Because I want to know. Go watch how cool Kenta and Naomichi Marufuchi were, okay?